Hi, Bakers. So, I really hate child abusers, okay? Of all forms. Hate animal abusers, okay? So, I wanted to just go do a little story time on that because I want you to know that I'm serious about exposing the LBL lambaster, okay? So, I was on vacation in Hawaii. You know, there I was on the beach with friends I had met the night before. We were really cool, had a great time the night before, and we went to this beach in Hawaii. I can't remember, it's like Neopalma, blah, 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 Neopalma, but anyway, it was this beautiful beach. We were supposed to be having so much fun, right? Well, the beach was disturbed by the screams of a little boy. The kind of screams where the little boy knows that his life is in peril. Death screams. A child was making the screams of being killed. Okay? Everybody on the beach was looking around. And they see it's a woman attempting, a beautiful Asian woman in a beautiful Chanel suit, attempting to teach her child to swim by holding him underwater, because as not to get one drop of water on her beautiful Chanel suit. Okay? Has nothing to do with her being Asian. I'm just giving you the visual. So you imagine this beautiful Chanel suit on the beach, standing there with her foot in her hand, pushing this child underwater, and she'd let him up just loud enough to scream from being held underwater, nearly drowned. And so people around me started putting on their headphones. My new friends put on their headphones so they didn't have to listen to this child scream. Everybody looked, but people looked away. They continued to let this woman nearly drown her own child repeatedly. The screams were making the insides of me cry like they are right now, remembering it. I walked across the beach. I walked past her husband, who stood there watching like an idiot. I freed the little boy and told him to go make a sandcastle. Made sure he was okay. And then I asked the woman if she'd like to learn how to swim in the same fashion. Fearful of me, her eyes were big. Her eyes were really big. She didn't understand I was serious. Once the little boy was up safe and I was making sure that he was breathing and he was okay and looking away, I taught that woman to swim in the same freaking fashion. So her beautiful white Chanel suit was now ruined by the salt water, and the beach was now replaced by her screams of me holding her under and letting her up. And once I decided it was enough and my message was proven, I told her, don't you ever, ever hurt that child again. That was disgusting. That is not what you do. You traumatize that child. Get him swimming lessons if you can't figure it out. Wear a swimming suit when you go to the beach. Don't you ever, ever do that to another child, especially your own. What are you thinking? And I let her go, running to her husband, screaming about her Chanel outfit that was ruined, and her husband looking confused. And I told him the same thing, that he was sick and disgusting for standing there watching that. You don't stand there and watch child abuse. Your own child. Hell is wrong with you, sicko? People on the beach were in awe. All of a sudden the spectacle was on me, and it was me that did something wrong in their eyes, because I stood up for a child being harmed, a child being nearly drowned to death by his own mother, taught to swim in that fashion. It's not how you do it. Okay? So, one woman came up to me amongst the others and told me that she had never seen such a display of strength and beauty in a woman to stand up for what was wrong and fix it. The rest looked at me like I was crazy. My new friends thought I was crazy too. And they all just kind of like grabbed their stuff, and it was like we never met. And that's okay. It's okay. Because a child wasn't hurt in my presence, and I stand by that. So, the animals. Long ago and far away, I had a tenant that I got word from, because I usually like to pal up with the neighbors in my homes that I own, so that they'll tell me if something's going on. And I got a call that my tenant and her husband were training their dog by hitting it. And the man would get drunk and go outside and punch this beautiful German Shepherd. Actually, punch the dog. Punch the dog. Punching a dog. Okay? Punching. Okay? So I got pictures of it. I got a film of it. We reported it to the agencies. We tried to do the right thing. But of course they didn't act. Of course. Why would they? It's what they're there for, but they're going to do anything? No. So the neighbors arranged for a unofficial rescue, if you will, where they found a couple of friends of theirs who could rescue this dog and give him a nice, safe place to live. And they were power lesbians. Okay? Power lesbians really do not like animal abuse. Okay? So these power lesbians set it up. They waited for dog to be let out while they went to work, and they kidnapped the dog and sent me pictures of the dog being well taken care of, fed, happy. No longer will he ever be abused. And I get calls from my tenant. Somebody stole my dog! What kind of a place is this? Somebody stole my dog! What am I gonna do? I called the police! I want my dog back! What kind of sick freaks would steal my dog? He said, I heard you guys were hitting it. Well, of course we hit it! How else are you supposed to train a dog? Have you never trained a dog? I said, well, maybe the dog, ran away, was sick of getting abused. He wouldn't run away. He loves us. I love dogs. I'm a dog lover, aren't you? I'm an animal lover, and you don't even feel sorry for me for my dog getting stolen. What's wrong with you? Sorry, maybe I should put some posters out around the neighborhood. Real sorry about that. Okay. So, it was done. So, sometimes when you think that nothing can be done, you have to be creative. I wish that there were better systems in place where child abuse wouldn't happen and animal abuse wouldn't happen, but our world is twisted, and then people stand by and watch it, and they justify it by saying, oh, they're an animal lover. Oh, they're trying to teach their child to swim. No. It is controlling. It is abusive. It is not love. It is not being a lover of anything. So don't be fooled when she says that she's this animal lover and people write all these things all over. Oh, you're the best. And when I die, I want to come back and be one of your animals. Yeah, I can only wish for that fate for anybody who wishes that. You know what? Yeah, when you die, you come back as one of her animals. If you want to do that, you want to call people who stand up against her chicken coons and say that they're crazy and they're desperate women and you want to come back as one of her animals, that is the fate I hope that you have. Okay? And that's saying quite a bit. So, well, there aren't always traditional ways, and there were a lot of people who were becoming very successful in the system working. That's why she went one night and euthanized Bella, because she was getting the heat put on her, and she was getting looked into, and the rules were going to be applied to her. Now, LBL will never let a rule be applied to her. She is a rule breaker. She does not follow the rules. Typical sociopath. Knows that there are rules. Enforces rules. Gets mad when other people do not follow the rules. But she herself will not follow a rule. Okay? This is where she goes into the abuse of animals, elders, her son, and herself, realistically. So she's an abuser. She's not a lover. Don't let her words fool you, and don't let her window-licking followers fool you. So I urge you to, that you know what, even if then that makes you the unpopular person wherever you are, those people were strangers to me, and they're strangers again. They remember that crazy woman who went and tried to drown another woman, I'm sure. And the people who walked in at the end probably were like, oh my God, that woman's trying to drown a woman. What's wrong with her? They didn't see the whole story. That's the problem with bystanders. They see the end of something. They see when there is a commotion. Then they look at the person who broke up the abuse and stopped what was happening, stopped the original crime, stopped the original infarction as the crazy person. But they don't look at the whole story. They don't listen to what happened first. They don't listen to the backstory. They don't want the backstory. They want what they saw, and they want to be right. Consider situations when you see them. Consider that what people are saying isn't true, as is what you see in the comments of people with LBL. And those that don't know the backstory, who are coming in and seeing her, number one, they just see her as some fat, ugly, hideous person that is trying to do some ASMR. And they don't know that there's a whole history. They see her trying to manhandle a little puppy and brush its teeth. They don't know that that's because that's the one time she's doing it, trying to get fans, trying to get viewers. Because the more viewers she gets, the more money she makes from her sponsors. And she pretends to have sponsors too, so that other sponsors will actually become her sponsors. It's an illusion. It's a mirage. It's not true. It's a lie. Don't forget that. Okay? Over and out. Thanks again for listening. Story time.